Okay guys, so for those of you who've already added some elements to the walls and changed the sky, the next thing that I want you to do is let's make it thunder, let's make it lightning, and let's add some rain as well. And it's surprisingly easy, okay? It's easier than what we've done so far, so you should all be fine with it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start at a point where I want it to completely change and start thundering and lightning, here for example. And I'm going to go down, make sure that my video layer is selected, and I'm going to press Command, Shift, and D. What that does, it copies this layer onto a separate layer here. So you can just concentrate on that part and it won't affect this earlier part here. So it starts from here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is select that layer. I'm going to search for hue, which is for the hue and saturation. And I'm going to drag that onto the layer which I want to edit. Drop it there. Now I can change the hue and saturation if I want, and the color range and things like that. In this case, I just want to change the actual colors of my scene. So if I press colorize, it's going to go like a sepia red, which I don't really want, but I can play around with it here, and you can do the same. I want it kind of blue, so that's kind of fine, because when it's raining it's not exactly bright and orange outside. I will increase the saturation a little bit so it's more gloomy, and I can match the graffiti on the wall in the same way, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to make this tutorial really short. So I've made it quite blue there. What I can do now is, if I zoom right into my timeline, and that's by reducing this so that I get like the milliseconds, what I want to do when it changes, I want a bit of thunder, some like thunder flashes. To do that, it's really simple. All I can do is if I press this here, this links it to the timeline. So whenever I change it on the timeline, this will update automatically. And I'll show you what I mean. If I add the brightness here, this is just a random increase, and then I move this along, and then I lower this, it's going to be the values that I leave for each point on the timeline. So if I can keep doing this for each millisecond, and you have to do quite a few, it will give a lightning effect. And make sure when you've finished that you bring it back to zero, back to its original value, otherwise it will stay too bright or too dark. So I've just done that. I can bring this back out again. You don't have to do this, but it's easier. And then I can check how that worked. I have no idea how this is going to look. Yeah, so it's kind of like lightning. That's good enough for now, okay? We've got the flashes that we want. You can add more. You will probably want to change the color of the sky in the same way that we're changing the color of the buildings, but I'm going to leave that to you. Let's add a bit of rain. Just search for rain here in the same box as before. It's the effects and presets. We search for rain. Now this rain isn't overly realistic. You can download different ones online, but for now we're just going to use this version. Drag it into the layer that you want it to affect, which is the new one. Now you can change you can change many elements of the rain here. You can change its speed, you can change the direction in which it comes from. So you can make it look quite realistic if you play around with it. As you can see, it's suddenly raining. And it does make quite a bit of a difference. We can tell it's not real right now because I haven't made any tweaks, but we can make it real. Look, when it's played faster, it's a lot more realistic, okay? And it looks like it's thunder and lightning. So I want you to have a go at that. I want you to change the atmosphere completely of your video by bringing the blues up, bringing the reds down, making it nice and gloomy here. You're probably going to want to change the colors of these as well, and of the sky, just so that it matches. And have a go and let me know.